'tis the season of giving. So I'm giving you 10 cheap tips for new YouTubers. What's going on, guys? I am the cheapest wrestler in the world, Matt Rivera. And I decided, it's the holiday season, and I wanted a way to give back.
Ho, ho, ho!
So the past year and a half, I've been really grinding to grow this YouTube channel, and I've definitely had some fails, had some successes, and everything in between. There's a lot of new YouTubers out there, or even YouTubers who have been doing it for a while, that maybe have some questions or maybe could use a little bit of guidance, some tips. I'm no expert by any means, not at all. I am not saying that. But here are 10 cheap tips for new YouTubers. Here's cheap tip number 1. Everybody is always concerned about having the latest tech, having the highest quality photo, the sharpest audio. But honestly, if you're just getting started in a YouTube channel, just use your phone. Most phones have a 1080p quality, and that's all you really need. Seriously, just use your phone. A very important question that you should ask yourself that I didn't even think about before I started my own channel is, who is your audience? Who should be watching your channel? For example, wrestling fans might subscribe to WWE. If they're fans of comedy, maybe they're subscribing to Cody Co. If they're fans of hip hop, maybe they're subscribing to XXL magazine. These are just some examples. So why should someone, or who is the person that should subscribe to your channel? This is something that I still struggle with. Is it the wrestling fan? Is it the fans of who want cheap hacks? Is it fans of video games? Is it everything in between? This is what you need to figure out, because this is a huge factor, and if your channel will see success. Hey! People have the shortest attention spans ever. I mean like really, really short. So sometimes quick cuts and switch ups can honestly make all the difference when you're looking to retain someone's attention. Number 4, be engaging and interesting. There are times where I go to look at someone's YouTube channel and be like, oh, subscribe to me. And then I check it out and they're just like, all right, guys. So today was a good day. What? Where is your personality? And don't get me wrong, everybody's different. For me, once I start doing this, I get a little bit louder, I get very animated, I start talking with my hands, I'm all like, hey, Macarena. No, I'm not saying everybody has to be like me, but find who you are and make sure you can connect it with your audience. Are you a guy who is usually serious? Are you someone who likes to sit in a recording studio? Are you someone who likes to be in a wrestling ring? How are you engaging people? How are you keeping them interested? Make sure you're having a good time with it, because fun is infectious, and if your audience sees that you're having a good time, more than likely they will too. Make a title make sense. I've had trouble with this before. A great example is actually Memoirs of a Cheap Wrestler. As you might have noticed, I changed the name of it to My Wrestling Journey. Because if someone has never heard of who I am or has never stumbled upon my page before, they might say Memoirs of a Cheap Wrestler. I mean, I kind of get what that is, the memories of a cheap wrestler, but what? But they see My Wrestling Journey, they say, oh, it's a wrestler and this is his journey. So make sure your titles are clear, and also make sure your titles will make people want to click it. One video that I released recently where the title I think interested some people was I've officially retired, right? I mean, so many people, just because of the title, were curious to see what the video was all about. Do the same thing with your videos. The perfect combination is making your title very clear and engaging. If you can do both, that's money. A captivating thumbnail. Now you want something that looks clear, that looks fun, maybe has some text on it, but not too much. Take a look at your favorite YouTubers' thumbnails. Most of them are pretty captivating, right? Maybe a funny face, or maybe just a very clear picture of the person who is hosting that channel. Maybe it's some text that really stands out in bold print that just smacks out there. I mean, really you could do a lot of different things to make your thumbnail interesting and catch someone's eye. If you need some assistance with this, you can actually download an editor app. You could just click photo editor. You can even go more specific and find a YouTube thumbnail editor. And a lot of these apps, they're free. Number 7 is all about keywords. When you're creating a video and you go into the details, you want to use keywords. I mean, let's say I come out with a battlegrounds video. So I'm having things like hashtag WWE, Battlegrounds, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox, maybe Raw and SmackDown, different wrestlers, the pay-per-view that's coming up. All things that are relevant to my video. That would make someone search those words and my video come up. They might say, hey, this is exactly what I was looking for. End screens and cards. So you might notice at the very, very, very end of my videos, you hear and you hear the whole beat drop of Hova Beats. Shout out to Hova Beats, by the way, for supplying that instrumental at the end of every cheap wrestler video. Within the last 15 seconds of my video, there's more options and links that pop up that will lead to more of my videos. And this can hopefully gain you some new fans and some new subscribers. Cards are a little bit different. From what I've read, you should put cards in the last 20 to 30 seconds of your video. Why? If you add them too early, you might actually have people drive away from the video they were just watching. So then you lose watch time. So you really want to add that at the end where maybe there's just a few seconds left, or maybe somebody's had enough of this video and they're ready to watch something new. And just in case you're not sure what a card is, there's one above my head right now. Number 9, don't be afraid to try new things and fail. Listen, life is all about failures. There's been so many failures I've had, but they're growing experiences. You learn, you develop. So you might say, oh man, I've done this on this channel this way for so long and I want to change things. Try it, see what comes of it. Worst case scenario, you realize it was a mistake and maybe you shouldn't do this anymore and you bring it to the side, try something new, or maybe you go back to the drawing board and do your old stuff again. But don't be afraid to try something new because you never know what's going to stick and what's going to work. An example for me that I consider a failure is actually my Crash Bandicoot 4 playthrough. And not that it was bad or anything like that, but maybe it just wasn't what people wanted to see on my channel. So it ended up getting the lowest amount of views. And then I scrapped it. I only played probably about 10 levels, and that's totally okay. Give yourself that creative room to fail because it'll only make you grow. And that's okay. And finally, number 10, and this is actually one of my favorites. Make sure you use other forms of social media, whether you use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever. Give your audience, your subscribers, your fans, other places where they can keep up with you, because that'll only make things grow. It's like this big revolving circle, and you just want to grow it and grow it and grow it and grow it. Oh. When I have a new video coming out, I usually post it on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Because maybe someone's not on YouTube and doesn't realize that you're having this video debut later in the day, but maybe they saw your message on Instagram. Maybe they saw your tweets. So make sure you have more than one social media outlet. Something that really helps me out, especially when I started the WWE 2K Battlegrounds, is I went on Facebook and I added a bunch of Battlegrounds pages. I said, let me add them, and then I will post my link, maybe some fun facts, maybe some conversation starters, to see if people like my channel or will click my video, and hopefully I'll gain some new fans and subscribers, and the cheap wrestler community grows. Cheap wrestler community, baby! Like I said earlier, I am no YouTube guru whatsoever, but I've been doing this for about 1.5 years, and there's things I wish I knew right from the get-go. So hopefully this video helps somebody out. I am the cheapest wrestler in the world. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Be safe. I'll see you guys soon. Peace!